Y'all have done it again. Y'all have given me more fodder to showcase 5 different ink swatching tools. Hey there, it's Grace. Welcome back. Welcome if you are new. Thank you for being here, right here. I'm really excited to do another quirky tools video because I've been collecting these different quirky tools over the past few months. Now, don't get things twisted because I use the word quirky. I define myself as quirky. I love my quirky, different nature. So these tools fit in that realm quite well. Also, I've got a funny story for you about one of them. Okay, enough wording and waiting. For me and for you, let's get straight to the overhead, shall we? Let's get to it. So one of the things that I look for with different swatching tools is how they showcase the ink properties, if there is any different type of properties in, let me take this watch off, it's gonna make noise. How they showcase the ink properties if the ink has any. And speaking of which, I want to tell you which inks I am going to be using. Like the last video I did, I'm using four different types of inks. Each of them has a particular property that I want to see how the tool reacts to it. The first one is Diamine Pumpkin, and the only reason I chose this one is because the time of year I'm doing it, it is the fall. This is a standard ink, so there's no properties to be had. Not no properties to be had, no properties to see. It's just beautiful, plain old ink. The second one is, I'm actually going to keep the same ink because I couldn't find one that does the dual shading as well as this one. This is Sailor Mano Fuji. So that is a beautiful, beautiful dual shader. The third ink is a sheener, and the one that I picked for this one, the only one I kept is the Sailor Mano. This ink is Birmingham Pen Company ink. How did I mess that up? That's because I was going to say BPC, because I've shortened their name to BPC for such a long time that my mouth wouldn't form around Birmingham Pen Company. Anyway, Tesla Coil is the one for the sheener. And then the one that I'm using with shimmer is one of my favorites. This one is Troublemaker Copper Patina. Let's do a backwards, see what I say. Alrighty, so those are the inks I'll be using, and they're that little tray. I need to be sure that each one is set up properly. I keep forgetting, because I want to be sure that the inks do what they need to do. One of the things I keep forgetting is putting down a blotter paper. So I've got this blotter paper here, just to be sure my hands don't spoil the paper. Alrighty, the first one is something that almost everybody is familiar with, and it is the back end of a glass dip pen, and it's this. I'm using the back end. This happens to be a glass spoon, and I think I showcased this in the first video, a spoon, or I think I had a metal spoon at the time, but since then I bought a glass spoon, which is so good. Anyway, I will be using the back end of the spoon, and it has just a little bulbous dot on the back of it, piece of glass on the back of it. This is what I'll be using. And whatever said, the first one, as I said, you guys were familiar with it. One of the things I'll be doing is when I showcase a tool, I'm gonna give the name of the person that I saw in the video using it. This one the first one I saw using this was Leanne of Leanne Likes, and you're probably familiar with her doing this. I'm actually going to try and do what she does. I was watching a couple of her older videos, and I like how she does it. So we'll see if I can get that, if I can mimic how she does it. She creates basically a cloud. So first one is noticed that as I'm coloring in, obviously it's a piece of glass, so it doesn't hold a lot of ink. So there'd be a lot of dipping and a lot of playing. And I'm kind of okay with that. I need to get a paper towel, 1 second. I need to get a paper towel just to dry things off. I don't want to put the covers on. Let me take the, I'm gonna have to put the covers on these two. I'm thinking out loud, people. I'm thinking out loud. Okay, next one is Sailor Manyo Fuji. It doesn't travel all the way around, and the dippage needs to happen. Alrighty, that's Sailor Manyo Fuji. And I'm hoping that, oh, wrong one. I dipped it back into Sailor Manyo. This one, I'll need to shake this one up. Oh no, this is Tesla Coil. This won't need a shake each time. The end of it doesn't, because it doesn't hold a lot, it doesn't take the color around as easily. I'm hoping I'm not saturating it. We'll see. That's the purpose of finding out about these tools, right? And then I'm going to shake this one. This is the one I'm going to have to continue to shake because it's shimmer. Let's shake that up so at least I get some shimmer in it. One of the things I'm doing is I'm using the color that's around the edges to shake, to add in, but I think I'll have to get more. Well, that's okay. And this is actually leaving a line through. You can see the line that's created as I'm doing the edges. Alrighty, so that is the back of the glass tip pen, or I've seen people use an ink muddler. I've seen I saw recently someone use an actual ink muddler, and I thought it was the most gorgeous thing. And it's made, the one that I saw was made by a Japanese glassmaker. I want one. I don't know whether I'll be getting one anytime soon, but anyway, let's go to the next one. The next one is something that I've been using for quite a while. You will see me using it in my videos because I love it. And the thing is, I've had this in my art supply, in my art supply bin for ages, for when I did mixed media pieces. And I went looking, one day I went looking for different nibs, and I came upon this one, and I thought, let's use this one. And then probably a few weeks later, I'm watching Corinna of Corinna Loves to Plan, and she's swatching with one of these, and I'm like, oh, so it's a thing then. It's a thing. And this one actually is the Calligraphy Nib. It's called a B1 and it's a calligraphy round nib, and it is absolute one of my favorite things to use. So let's go down here. I absolutely love this. I love how it lays down color, and when you look at it, it really is just the tip of it, and there's a slit in the two metal pieces that the ink is being held. As you can see, it doesn't lay down much with each dip. I'm gonna just dip twice and see how far I can go, and I'm not getting very far. So it's a little bit of color you're getting with this, and the space that I've created for each one is a little bit large for this one. Oh, I keep doing that. I was about to put that here. Okay, let's get, as I said, I really want to see how far one dip gets me. And it could be the wetness of the ink. It could be a whole different set of variables that makes the ink move. I love, oh my gosh, it's happening already. I need to pay attention. I need to pay attention. Just pay attention, Grace. Just do what you need to do. Ooh, that went far. That went nice and far. Wow. So it really depends upon, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to shake this each time because the ink settles. This last one with the shimmer, the shimmer settles rather. Come on, I want you to travel as much as you can in one dip. What are you doing? Okay, that's good. It makes a nice swatch. It doesn't carry as much as some of the other tools, especially the ones in the first video. And one of those tools is this one. This is one of my favorite ones to use. This is the folded nib. The next one up, you guys are gonna have to go further up because I'm running out of space. The next one is, so that one was the calligraphy, recap, Calligraphy Nib B1 2 round. That is the first one. The next one up is a different one. Now, I've seen this particular thing. Let me just show you. So I wrote down palette knife, and I got this one out, and it is, I think it's, let me just show you. They're all knives. They're all pointy things, stabby stuff. That's what they are. The three things that I saw were the palette knife, a pocket knife. I've actually seen someone use a pocket knife. Oh my God, really? And the letter opener. And I'm gonna, who are the three people? I've seen PK with, who is she? Old lady with the camera. And then the pocket knife, Zia of Zia Wool's Studio. She was like, I use a pocket knife. I've always used a pocket knife. And then I've seen someone use the back end of a letter opener. So yeah, of course I had to find all of these. That one was at Atomic Elf one. I don't know that person's name. So these are the ones that I'm going to, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'm going to give everybody a space, I think. Oh, I have four things, so I'm going to give everybody a space. I'm going to use, how am I going to do this? No, I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to use this one. This is the regular palette knife, and I think this will, we're just going to try it. We're just going to try and see how. Oh yeah, look at it, put down the color. Oh, okay. Go ahead with your bad self. Okay. That is the palette knife. Then this one. This is the one that was just like, this is a freaking knife. This is a pen knife. She uses a pen knife. And she says she just, what does she say? I think she said, I'm going to try and find her words. 1 second, let me look for her words. I cannot find her words. What'd she say? The pocket knife, Grace, the pocket knife. This is a comment she made in the other video. I do it all the time, however, no circles ever. So we'll just use a pocket knife and go from there. I'm intrigued by how this pocket knife will work, because it's got to go flat, right? Okay. It doesn't do a... Okay, that's the pocket knife. It just seems weird to do a pocket knife. It just... you know why it seems weird? Because it's a knife. This is the actual, true knife, as opposed to a palette or something. And I'm going to close that sucker up because I don't intend to get... Oh, sugar flip and a half. See what I did there? See what I did? I put orange in the wrong place. I'll correct that in a minute. Tesla coil, would I get that in there? I'm not going to get that in there. So what I will do is I'll just put a little blob of it and see what this does. Okay, it makes a nice circle if you do it like that. Okay. All it is a spreader rounder. All it is spreading it round. I'm so freaking pissed that I did that. Anyway, so those are the three. I'm going to, I don't know how, I want to do this one. And I want to do it with this big old palette knife and see what the difference is. And I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use the same thing. Do the same thing and just dip, get a little bit with an eyedropper tool, or the pipette, not an eyedropper, the pipette. And let's just see how it spreads this around. I mean, it's okay, it's an okay spreader. It just, I guess it depends on, please, old cough coming in. Yeah, that was a big cough. Still not clear. But anyway, it depends upon, you see how it's pooling in that one area there? I don't want it to necessarily pool. I mean, it works. It works. It's not a, so that's these, this last line is these four that I've used. And you know, the thing is, I say about this experiment, I'm just gonna try it. I'm just gonna try and see what, see how it works. Look at the sheen coming up in there. Dang, whoa. Okay, these last two, I should say. These last two are, let's just call them interesting. Let's just go with interesting. And this is another one that I saw Leanne likes to use in a video. Can you tell I've been searching for tools? Can you tell I've been going back in people's history searching for tools? And this swatching tool, believe it or not, is dun 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 dun, a bread clip. Literally, it's a bread clip. Who knew? I mean, what? I tell you, when I saw her pull this out, I'm like, my brain is blown. My brain is actually blown. So there's a backstory to me using, attaining the bread clips. So we have bread that has the bread clips on, but every single time the person, and I knew I wanted it, the person who ate the last slices of bread threw the clip away. Okay, so, because I forgot to tell them I wanted the bread clip. I went to get and I found them, like, okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take the bread clip and I'm gonna tie the bread bag in a knot so the bread still stays fresh, and I have the bread clip. The first bread clip I got like that, I have no clue. No clue where it is. I will come upon it sometime in the future. The second one, my husband broke. He was putting it on the bread and it broke, and it's like, okay. And the space between these collection of bread clips. The third bread clip I got, I know I brought it into my studio. I've searched everywhere, all over the place here in my studio, cannot find it. It is nowhere to be seen. And then yesterday, as of this recording, I'm regaling this to my friend I meet for coffee on Fridays, and she says, well, they probably have bread clips because they have bread. And I get to the counter and I said, this might seem a weird thing, but can I have a bread clip, please? And she gave me 3. She gave me 3 bread clips. She says, go ahead. And isn't it perfect that as of this recording, it's autumn, it's fall. I got an orange bread clip. So you know I got to use the orange. You know I have to use the orange bread clip. Okay, so this one is the bread clip. And I'm first I got to give a shout out to my peeps at Key Coffee, because y'all rock. We are there and you can take such good care of us. Let's test this one. And I think for this bread clip, I'm going to have to do pipette. I'm going to have to pipette these things. So let's put one there. And I might as well leave that in there because I'm gonna have to do it for the next one. So let's pipette this. I don't even know. Obviously I'm gonna use the straight edge, that straight edge there, because there's, anyway, let's just do that. It's a matter of just spreading it out. I mean, it does a good job. It does a good enough job. Why not? Why not use a bright clip? Alrighty, next color. There is the pipette. Next color is Sailor Manyo Fuji. I'm gonna put it over here. Bubble, go away, I don't want you. And where did it go? Let's see. And it's just, you know what, I'm gonna just do that. That seems to work. Oh my god, a bread clip. I think I'm liking the bread clip over the palette knife, all the knives over this one. Yeah, I like the bread clip. Alrighty. Next up is pipette for Tesla coil. I don't want to put too much down because the bread clip is not doing it. It's not absorbing anything. It's a piece of plastic now. Come on. I just want to see how it spreads. I almost feel like I want to put like a clip on the end of this to give it a handle because it's kind of cool. Of all of them so far, I'm kind of liking the bread clip. Okay, last one, and I'm going to shake this up ever so slightly so I can get some shimmer coming in. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use the pipette to get this. I don't want to have to put the thing on. Okay, let's try this. Well, looky there. I made a mess. Let's see if I have enough in that swatch. It fell. It fell, and I'm going to get it. 1 second. Let me get the bread clip that fell. I know I can't get it. Alrighty, there we go. And I made a mess on the end of the card, but that's okay. I just don't want my oils from the hands to get in there. Alrighty, let's see. And you know, I did this one, and you see now, I'm just like, I know how to do it now by number 4. Oh, that's awesomeness. So, the lowly bread clip, y'all. It's a bread clip. Okay. This last one, I really had fun with this one. This last one is interesting. Let's see who I saw this. I wrote down the names of the people I got this one is by, I don't know, I have a first name, but I saw it at Piles of Things, and I'm blown away. I didn't see her do it. The last video she commented that she uses this, and it is a marble. What in the world? She uses a marble. What? Brain is blown. Brain is just blown. Can you just... What? Okay, let's just get... The thing about this one is, these two, well, this was my own doing why I couldn't find it. Or keep it, I should say. I have this thing with safe places too. I think I put the third one in a safe place. I don't know where that safe place is. You need to know this about me. After Christmas, probably about 2 or 3 times in January, I will come upon a Christmas present that I forgot to wrap to give to somebody because I put it in a safe place. It happens all the time. So that bread clip is in a safe place. I'll comp on it at some point. Let's get back to the marble. Trying to find marbles. Y'all, kids don't play with marbles anymore. And both my boys are adults, so I couldn't ask them, besides they live in different states. So I went to find a marble. I went all over. I didn't even, for those of you who are thinking, go to the dollar store, Race, didn't even dawn on me to go to the dollar store, because probably had marbles, a bag of marbles. Anyway, I found a substitute. and it's actually a bead. But doesn't it look like a marble? I mean, that is just the cutest thing. Yeah, anyway. Piles of things. I'm gonna try your idea. I want to read you part of what she said. She said, I have a glass marble, and one day when I was swatching, I was lazy and just grabbed it because it was near me and dripped some ink from the pen onto the paper and just smushed the ink around with the marble. So that's what we're gonna do. I've kept the, let me show you. I've kept the pipettes in each of the ink bottles. So let's do this. And remember, I gotta do that one over again. Alrighty, let's do, I don't know how much we need. We're gonna put down 2 bits and see if that's enough. And this is another one I wish I could put a handle on it. Oh, maybe I can put a handle, thinking far ahead. Let's just do this. Oh, it really is like a back of a spoon. Wow, I expected that to be much more difficult. I do not know why. I just expected it to be a thing, and it isn't. Alrighty, Sailor Manual, let's see what you come up with. I'm gonna do the same thing, just 2 little dots, and I'm trying to not get, because it's not a marble, a full circle of glass. There's holes for beads, so I'm trying to actually put my fingers over the holes so the ink doesn't go in there. So let's do this one. Oh my word! I love how it does. I love what it does. Wow, that's so cool. Okay, next one is Tesla coil. Little 2 drops there. And where are the holes? There they are. Ooh, that one's a big, gigantic hole. Anyway, here we go. It really makes a kind of pretty swatch, doesn't it? I think so. That just could be a me thing. And as usual, we'll have to shake this one up. And let's not shake it over the paper and spoil the whole experiment, right? Use that to... Whoops! Okay. I think we got some. Uno. Dos. Okay. Let's see how we do. Where are the holes? I mean, it's a glass thing, so wow, it feels a little bit more dry here. That's interesting. And I put about the same. All right, I'm gonna let these dry, and then I'm gonna come back with some notes. I'm gonna take some notes. I'm gonna come back and share my evaluation of these 5 swatching tools that I've actually seen people use, except for the marble. I've not seen anybody use that. But that's not too bad. Anyway, be right back. All right, so the inks are all dry now. It's funny that I kept looking over here from my desk and looking over and thinking, oh, it's not dry yet. Yeah, it's all dry. Tesla coil dries like that, which I did not know. Alrighty, first up is this one. This is what I would call an ink muddler type tool. So it's a glob of glass on the back of my spoon, basically. And I wrote some notes. I actually wrote some notes here about each one. I want to kind of, let me see if I can get both of these in here for now. We'll do this. We'll just do this because we don't need all of that. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's just do this. Okay, so first one up is the back of the glass tip pen or an ink muddler. I did like Leanne did from her channel. She made clouds, but I found that the clouds, as you can see here, you can see all the lines. It didn't necessarily, let's go do a close-up. It didn't necessarily show up the shimmer in this sample here, which I'm disappointed in. All of these showed up, all of the Tesla coil. It showed up, we have some shading, the chroma shading here. But one of the things I noticed about this one is because I did the clouds and I spread the ink with the back end of the pen, lines showed up on, and I think that may be why I didn't get much shimmer in this. So what I did is I actually took it and I do it like, I usually, when I spread a swatch, I just kind of back and forth like that instead of all the way around and trying to get all the edges of the clouds like I did here. So it showed much better here in that regard when I just swatched it. But when I kind of moved it all around in this cloud-like fashion, it didn't work for me necessarily. It doesn't hold much ink. What I said, to use Leanne's method, I had to re-dip a few times because the minute you put it down on the paper, the ink went to the paper, but it only went in that one area, and then you'd have to use the tool to move it around. It did not hold much ink on the back end of this. I think I prefer the spoon to be able to move it around than this end of the tool. Just wasn't easy to spread is one of the things I wrote here. Okay, you can see in the round, the Calligraphy Nib, this is one of my favorite tools. It doesn't hold much ink. I want to see if I can get this camera. You see how there's a slit? There's two pieces of metal there. So the ink is housed between those, let's do this, between those two pieces of metal. So all the ink is pooled in there, which gives it a good way to swatch. It doesn't swatch, if you remember, as I'm swatching, especially this first one, it doesn't swatch, it doesn't hold a lot of ink, so it doesn't swatch a long way. It's basically, what, 3/4 of an inch each time. This is the only one that stretched quite long. Amazing to me. What did I write? Because it's meant to hold ink in between the metal discs, it worked well to get enough ink to swatch, but doesn't hold as much, like I said. And also, I found that it depended on the wetness of the ink, which this ink I find very wet, the Tesla coil. These two were not as wet as, they might be wet inks, they're not as wet as the Tesla coil. So this spread a little further. You get to see, with this tool, you get to see the shading that happens. Not in the orange, in the pumpkin. You get to see all of this. The Tesla coil just sheens like crazy. You get to see some of the shading and the shimmer in this one. So this lets the property shine through, and it depends upon the ink, I would say. The next one, and I'm gonna just bring them all out. The next one are these four. So it's two palette knives, one with a really large blade. The knife, the pocket knife, trying to spread with that was interesting. And then the back end of the letter opener. If I enjoyed one of them, it would be this one with the larger blade, because then you can move the ink a little bit better. As you can see that right here. The ink showed up and you got beautiful shading, beautiful shimmer, showed up all over. These are okay. Oh, I still forgot to do this one. Ha ha ha. Oh, we're just gonna leave that now. I'm not even gonna change that. You can see shading showed up here with the first palette knife. That was this one, the small thin one. And then basically nothing showed up here in the pocket knife. We don't get any shading. We just get, and I kind of moved the ink a little bit over here. It got a little bit harder to work it, because it's flat and it doesn't do as well as the palette knives. Even the letter opener kind of, when I put the color down with the pipette, the ink down, it moved it, but it just moved it. It's not, I don't know that any of these are the best at swatching inks. Yeah, as I said, the one that I was okay with because I think it has a larger surface area is this one, and it just moved it. I won't be adding any of those, but I thought it would be interesting to try the palette knives, and I put them all in one. I put them all in one row here. The other one, the one that surprised me the most, was the flipping bread clip. That I think what I would have loved to do is, and I wish I had something. I'm trying to see if I have anything here I could use. This is what I'm thinking. If I can get a clip or something and use it like that. This is a pair of tweezers, by the way. If I can get a clip and just use it, yeah. It needs to be a clip that holds it so it doesn't move. That won't work. But I think this would be excellent. It moves the ink beautifully. You can see shading in each one of these. I hope it's picking up. Is it picking up? There you go. You can see shading in the first two examples, definitely. You can see that dual shader coming in beautifully in this one. The Tesla coil, look at how much shimmer or sheen is in. So there's that example. But look at that example. This is the one that I thought was completely wet still. And it isn't. It isn't wet. But look how much of that property shows up with the lowly bread clip, y'all. What? And then beautiful shading in this area. Bit much on the shimmer, but that's not a problem. The bread clip was kind of like an outlier. It's like, here, you better look at me. I might be lowly, but I do a good job. What did I have? Surprised the heck out of me. Oh, that's what I had. It was the easiest to use to spread the ink. And as I said before, it's the first where the shading can be seen. The shading can be seen in each of the swatches. This does not count because there's no shading happening there. Although the round nib does show the base color of the ink in this one. That's why I still love that one. The next one up, the last one up is, dang it, it's a marble. Really, it's a marble. Oh my word. I gotta say, I'm just like piles of things. I really love, I'm so glad you put that in there. You made the comment because I actually I like using it. I just think it does a beautiful job of showcasing the color. The color is just gorgeous. The ink, the sheening does not show up as much in this one with the marble as in the bread clip. That's okay. I'm not asking for sheen to always show up so heavy-handed, and I think it showed up quite heavy-handed there. But this, I think the marble, I think these two surprised the heck out of me that I enjoyed these two so very much. What did I write? Fascinating, quirky tool. That's what I wrote about this one, the marble. I like, the only drawback I see is that it's hard to hold. It almost needs like, and I think this is actually a good way to use the marble, quote unquote marble. If I can find a holder, I might use this just as a quirky tool sometimes. The only thing is, it didn't allow for, it moved the shimmer too much in this swatch that you only see it where the marble lines were. It moved the shimmer too much. Other than that, I think if an ink is a standard or just dual shading, even the sheen, although see, it doesn't do too bad with the sheening. It doesn't do too bad. You see more sheen with the bread clip. It was able to move the ink a bit more, and you can see that sheening happening much more prevalently there than here. So not too bad. There was an interesting bunch of swatching tools. Not except for the first two. You wouldn't gravitate towards any of these unless you saw someone using it, right? Okay, so let's do this. Let's hit me. I want you to hit me with what do you think of these tools? What do you think of these 5 new tools that I've showcased? If you have used one of them already, not these 2, because I think, or maybe just the first one. Let's see. If you've used one of them already, let me know. If you think that one of these is actually really cool to use, do that too, and I would love to know your thoughts on how, if you swatch with one of these, it performed for you. Do you like it? Or yeah, no, not happening, Grace. Also, one more thing to tell you, 2 more things to tell you. First thing is, there's another video coming. There's another quirky swatching tools video coming. And the other reason is because I didn't want this video to be such a long time that you guys will fire my butt or my channel or something, and I thought, no, break it up. So there's a 3rd swatching tool to come. It'll be about 6 or maybe 7. I can't remember which one it is. 7 more tools. I have 1 more tool to find. I know where to find it. I just have to go and get it. And I'm waiting on another that's actually being sent to me. I am excited about that one. So look for 1 more quirky fun swatching tools video to come. And to be truthful, to be really truthful, the reason we have the 2nd and the 3rd video coming up is because of y'all. It's because of y'all, because you let me know in the comments in that first video that you use a marble or you use a pocket knife. You know, you let me know. So what I have to say is keep them coming. Keep those swatching. If there's something that you use or you see someone using or you want to use or you want me to talk about, let me know. Put it in the comments. Let me know. For the next video, I will be replacing, you notice I replaced if you watch the first one, I replaced these 3, the standard, the sheen, and the shimmer. I think I might want to replace all of them again, just to have just to do different inks. But the one that I would like help on or suggestion on is, tell me suggestions for a dual. Sailor Mano Fuji is a really good dual shader ink, beautifully, as you can see here. I want to use an ink that is a dual shader just like this. So hit me in the comments with those. Also, don't hit me in the comments with those. I take that back. I will be doing a community post so that these suggestions that you give me won't be lost in the shuffle of all the stuff that I've asked you to put in the comments. Yes, look for the community post to give me suggestions on what to replace the Sailor Mano Fuji dual shader ink with. And yeah, what do you think? What do you think? Interesting. And to think I have 6 more to go. What?